big boy, yeah, fella. It's 7 o'clock here in El Paso, Texas. Sunday, 26th January 2020. With over 25 careers to choose from. Enroll now. Yeah, I'm still looking at the game, looking at Buffalo and Kansas City. From the look of things, Buffalo slide ahead of the Chiefs. I guess a couple of minutes left in the third, maybe about 3 or 4, I imagine. The deal is, can the Bills pull it out? Man, I sure hope so. I would like to see the Bills go back to the Super Bowl. Because like I said earlier, the Bills had 4 consecutive trips to the Super Bowl and lost all 4 of them. I would actually like to see the Bills win one for a change. Now, Philadelphia Eagles, they won the Super Bowl about 6 or 7 years ago with the quarterback Mick Foley. And I believe prior to that, their last win was like in 1946. I think Philadelphia won a national championship in 1946 and again in 1942. So I think Philly won 2 national championships, 1942 and 1946. Now, back then, they wasn't called a Super Bowl. It was a national championship crown. Super Bowl came about like in 1961, 62, something like that. That's when the NFL had some issues. And what was the issues? The issue was, it was like 12 teams. And 4 of the 12 teams decided they wanted to leave the NFL and form their own league. And so they had a split. That was like 1961, 62. Now, the Kansas City Chiefs you see right here on television, that's the Kansas City Chiefs. Yeehaw for the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, here's what most people don't know about the Kansas City Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs is the original Dallas Cowboys. They better hurry up and snap that thing. Kansas City Chiefs is the original Dallas Cowboys. It was called the Dallas Texans. And when they had that issue in like around 1961, 62, they left the NFL. When they left the NFL, they formed their own league. They formed their own league, which was the American Football Association. So they left the National Football Association and formed their own league, the American Football Association. Okay? And at some point, like around 1966 or 67, these 2 football leagues, the NFL and the AFL, decided to merge. So that's when the merge took place, around 1966 or 1967. And they concluded that the best team in the National Football League would play the best team in the American Football League, which would be called the Super Bowl. The Dallas Cowboys was born in 1965, I believe it was 1965, Cowboys. I remember listening to the Cowboys when I was like, 7 years old. The Cowboys, the Dallas Cowboys, when I was like 7 years old. Which would have been before the death of Martin Luther King. God damn. Anyway, that ain't the reason I record this video, but I sure hope Buffalo win this thing so they go. Yeah, on the review. Anyway, let me show y'all something. Somebody asked me what camera lens I use to take them photographs that I just posted on my Facebook page. What camera lens did I use to take those photographs I just posted on my Facebook page? Now, I'm going to tell you, I've been dealing with camera lenses for like the last 40 years. More than that, really, 42, 43 years now. I really started getting serious the last 15, 20. Now, let me just say this right here. Those images I put on my Facebook page are not the best images that I could have got. None of those people that I took photographs of, only about 5 or 6 of them know I was actually taking their photographs. It's called stealth photography, also known as street photography. Now, in most cases, you want to use, for street photography, you want to use about a 55 millimeter lens. It depends. If you're using a full frame, you want to use about a 40 millimeter lens. If you're using a crop sensor camera, you might want to use a 50 millimeter lens. 55. Anyway, we can talk about that later. Anyway, let me show you what I use. Now, I bought a Canon 5D, but I left it in the Philippines. So I had to buy another one. This one here is a Canon 6D. See it? Canon EOS 6D. And since I was so poor, I had to buy a Tamron. Hope you can see it. I like shooting full frame as opposed to APS-C and Micro Four Thirds. So, but the photographs I put online, you can do that. If you wanted just something like that, I would say don't spend no more than $200. Camera and lens. Camera and lens. You can get that for a $200 system. We are actually talking. You can get a crop sensor camera and a kit lens. Let's say if I bought a Nikon D3400, I think it's D3400. Nikon D3400. And I think they got a 70 to 300 millimeter lens. Then yeah, you can get that. You can get those kind of quality images, and you wouldn't have to spend more than $150, $200. That's it. But what I got there, the Canon D6 full frame, I think I paid for that camera was about $400. And the lens I may have paid, the lens was slightly damaged. Not damaged, but slightly. I'd probably pay another $400. But that's about $800. I wouldn't suggest you pay that kind of money for it. Nah. Now, that's a Tamron lens on a Canon camera. Ideally, you want to put a, God damn it, man. I'm looking at the game, man. This thing is getting ugly, ugly, ugly. Anyway, if you actually want to put a good Canon lens on that camera, Canon camera, you might be talking some money. That is a 70 millimeter, 200 millimeter zoom lens. Tamron, brand new. It costs about $1,500. You can get a good used one on eBay, or there's a couple of outlets you can buy them at for about $600 or $700. Damn, that cost me like $400. Like I said, slightly damaged. Cost about $450 or something like that. That's about it, really. I don't think I paid more than that. But if you bought that original Canon lens to go on this Canon camera right here, you're looking at $2,800. $2,800. That's for the Canon, and the same is true for the Nikon. So we use aftermarket lenses, third-party lenses to mount on these cameras because we're not professionals and we don't get paid for our image. The difference between the original and the third-party lenses is the durability. The quality, image quality you're going to get is pretty much the same, but the durability is the issue. If I would have actually bought the Canon lens and put on this camera, which a good used one would have cost me about $1,100. That lens got a life expectancy of more than 30 years. More than 30 years. This one right here, God damn it, man. My home just got in that zone. Don't look like Buffalo gonna be able to prevail. Look at old Taylor Smith. What her name? Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift. You know, if you go back about 4 years ago, I don't even think it was that long. Might have been 3 years ago. The Philadelphia Eagles played the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Of course, Kansas City won, but Philly should have won that game. Philly should have won that game between the Chiefs 3 years ago. Well, it look like they get another shot at it because Philly's already slaughtered. The Eagles is already in the Super Bowl. Now the question is, can the Buffalo Bills stop the Kansas City Chiefs? Can the Buffalo Bills kick the Chiefs out of the Super Bowl? Can they or can they not? Can they stop this $560 million quarterback from getting back to the Super Bowl? But I digress. I guess God worth his money. He don't won 3 Super Bowls. Now he's going to, this would have made 5 Super Bowls this guy been in. He lost the first one to New England. He won 3, and now he's got a chance to win the 4th Super Bowl. That's what $560 million gets you. Anyway, let me get out of here. I was talking about that Canon camera and stuff. You know, I don't shoot flash photography. You know, I don't really particularly care for, you know, portraits and that kind of stuff. Every now and then somebody will give me their portrait. But I was a collector. I guess I'm still is really, but I'm gonna have to start discarding some of this photo equipment. Because I realize there's really not a lot of value. But anyway, you tell everybody y'all know I say hello, see you down the road. Y'all be good now. You're here. Yeah, boy, yeah, yeah.